Right now at 4, the first teen convicted in the death of 16-year-old Preston Lord has been sentenced. We have more from the emotional day in court.
A Valley woman is accused of killing her father, and tonight we're hearing from neighbors who say the victim was like a son to them.
And could rain be on its way to the Valley? We are timing it all out coming up right here at 4.
It is the judgment of the court that you be sentenced to a term of 12 years in the Department of Corrections. That is slightly greater than the presumptive term. And that sentence will run consecutively to your sentence in the manslaughter case.
And we begin with a Fox 10 News alert. The first teen convicted in the death of 16-year-old Preston Lord has been sentenced to years behind bars.
William Owen Hines pleaded guilty in 4 separate cases last month. Now again, he's the first teen in Preston Lord's death who has been sentenced. A total of 7 young men have been charged in his murder. He's the first one, though. Now we do believe we are having a live press conference. Preston Lord's family, they are speaking now. Let's take a listen to get their reaction to this plea.
Prosecutors said continuously that you guys, the family, has been here every step of the way. I know you guys are most likely showing up every step of the way as this goes on.
Yes, and it does, and this is just step 1. You know, Preston's Law is right now is step 2. It's the next one, and I'm still wondering why the Gilbert Town Council, the Gilbert Police Department, the Gilbert City Manager haven't been investigated for their actions in 2022 and 2023 on their inactions. You know, if they'd have done their jobs then, we wouldn't be standing here today. So.
Can we get your first and last name?
Tony Rich.
Thank you.
Yep, do that.
Rich as R-I...
It's R-E-I-C-H, but it's pronounced Rich. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
And that was Preston Lord's grandfather speaking outside of the courthouse today. Very emotional day, very emotional several years this has been for that family.
Yeah, that was Tony Rich. Now we want to go to our Kenzie Beach, who is live outside the courthouse. And Kenzie, you were inside the courtroom when he was sentenced, and you heard some really emotional victim impact statements. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Ellen, Mark, a very emotional day in this courtroom today as William Owen Hines was sentenced to 17 years in prison. That includes the beating death of Preston Lord in 3 separate cases. You just heard from the family behind me, but they also spoke in court. We heard from Preston Lord's father, we heard from Preston Lord's stepmother, and Preston Lord's mother herself. Very emotional. There was barely a dry eye in that courtroom. It was absolutely packed. So many people in there in orange showing their support for Preston Lord. But this sentence comes 17 years for William Owen Hines, 12 to be served for manslaughter, and 5 to be served for vehicular aggravated assault. Now, the judge in this case, he considered that Hines was 18 years old at the time of each of these offenses, but he also considered the toll that this has taken on the Lord family. And we also learned of another victim that was hit in a drunk driving accident by William Owen Hines a couple months prior to Preston Lord's death. Now take a listen to some of that emotional victim impact.
His crocodile tears when he changed his plea from guilty for manslaughter and the other attacks really mean nothing to me or to his victims and their families.
I have no words of forgiveness to offer William Owen Hines for the role he played in my son's death. The severity of the crime demands accountability, and I ask for the maximum sentence.
Although I did not know Preston personally, he seemed to be an astounding man, a kind soul senselessly taken from this world. He didn't deserve not one of those kicks or punches. This act of violence has now left a man without a son, a sister without a brother, and a father without his boy.
It is the judgment of the court that you be sentenced to a term of 12 years in the Department of Corrections. That is slightly greater than the presumptive term. and that sentence will run consecutively to your sentence in the manslaughter case.
Now, the Lord family was vocal heading into court and in their victim impact statements that they wanted the maximum sentence. So with the manslaughter charge and the vehicular aggravated assault, that would have been 21 years for William Owen Hines to serve in prison. But Hines will now serve 17 years behind bars. Those will be served one after the other, the term, so 12 years and then 5 years. William Owen Hines, I had a very direct view of him in the courtroom all day long. He kept a very stoic composure, but he did become very emotional when his mother and his father spoke on his behalf. Reporting live in Phoenix, Kenzie Beach, Fox 10 News.